Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a review. So I put a little poll up on my community page on YouTube about 4 days ago to ask what you'd like me to review next, and the winner was this. It's the ORKA Reflex driving iron. So today I'm going to do a little review of this. So I'm going to put it onto GC Quad. I'm going to hit some shots, see what kind of numbers I get, and then I'm going to do a little accuracy test on one of the holes, on one of the simulator holes as well, just to see what it is. Now my 2-iron for me, I've got a SRIXON one, is my go-to club to find fairways. I love the club. If I'm struggling with driver, which is a lot of the time, then I use my 2-iron off the tee. I'm kind of looking for somewhere between 220 and 240 yards with it. Although it doesn't say on this, I believe this is 19 degrees. I will have to double check, but I believe it's 19 degrees. My 2-iron is 18 degrees. So there's 1 degree in it, so we're looking at 3 or 4 yards difference. But I would expect this to go somewhere around sort of 220 to 240 yards, and for me to be able to put this in the bag as a replacement to that, it would have to get that far. So I'm going to get into the range today, get it on the software, and we're going to hit some shots, and we'll do a little review of the ORKA Reflex driving iron. Right, so I've put a green out there on the computer at 230, which is, if I had 230 to a green, I'd use this club. Well, I wouldn't use this one, but I'd use my 2-iron. So we're gonna just have a little bit of a practice with it and give you my feedback. Now, the first thing I will say is down at the ball, it looks so forgiving. It's got a really thick top line, and you can see a lot of the mass behind the club. So this is a hollow head design, but I will say that the face, for me, does nothing. It's completely silver all the way across, so there's no like major defining part where the actual face, where the hitting zone is, whereas with some clubs this is like darker or lighter and then the edges have got a different colour. For me, this is just a full silver face and doesn't really do anything for me. But that doesn't mean anything, because it's all about performance with clubs. Now, the shaft I've got in this is a hybrid shaft. It's a 70 gram Kurakage stiff flex. I normally would play a steel shaft in an iron. My SRIXON's got an X100 shaft in it. I'm not a fan of hybrid shafts in irons, but you got to use what you've got. So how does it perform? That's the big question. So that one was massively leaked out to the right hand side. That's me leaving the face wide open. So not a great start, but it did sound really solid off the face. So it gave a nice little crack off the face, which is what I'd like to hear from an iron. If I compare these two together, this looks phenomenal. This is the SRIXON ZU85. This looks like something I'd pull at 2 o'clock on a night out, and I had no other choice but to go for this on looks wise. You know, the SRIXON is just so good looking, and this looks a little bit like I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me. This is stunning, this isn't, basically. But ultimately, that means absolutely nothing, as long as it performs well. So that one came off the face really well, I just left the face wide open. Good crack again, good solid hit, straight down the line. Yeah, that's just a good shot. It performs really well. 232 carry. Yeah, exactly where I'd want it to be. Performance-wise at the minute, I can't fault it unless you leave the face wide open. So I think I've lit that in a bit in the heel, so it's a bit leaky. But it still carried 220. What I love about this club so far is I've hit that out the heel and I just thought that was going to go off, like that was gone. So far right, it was unbelievable. But it kind of recovered it, so that says to me it's got some forgiveness in this club, which is what I'd want in a driving iron. Again, a little bit in the heel, and again it's done really well. It's carried over 200, it's made the green, great forgiveness in it. I'd like to hit one out the middle though, to see what the performance of it can do, but so far I'm impressed. So that felt a little bit more central. Yeah, it's just a good performing club. So much forgiveness in it. Fast off the face, 141 ball speed. It's performing really, really well. Right, let's try and find the middle of this club face. It does have one apparently. And that was a fat. Unfortunately, no club in the world is going to recover from that. Maybe a hybrid might, but that was just awful. That was pants. That's the 13 handicapper in me coming out. Getting out the heel. No, it's just not getting recovered from that. Really suffering with this face control at the moment. Got that one really well. So it's gone out to the right a bit, but still carried 225, good ball speed. Spin was up, which is what's recovered that shot. So caught that a little bit heavy, but it's still got out there, still going to run. I have to say, forgiveness wise, this club is up there. It's got offset, so it does sort of scream forgiveness. If you're a player who needs that confidence looking over a club, this has got it. It's got offset, it's got a thick top line, and it's got a thick sole, so you can see everything that screams forgiveness for you. For me, it's difficult to judge because I wouldn't use this shaft. I find this shaft a little bit whippy. I'm not a fan of graphite shafts when it comes to irons, so I'm struggling for timing a little bit, which isn't helping. All right, I got that one. Definitely got that one. Yeah, and it showed 235 carry. You get this club out the middle, it definitely is a good performer. So easy to hit, fast off the face. It's just an all-round good club. Right, so let's look at the numbers on this and let's disable this one because it was just a full-on fat. So average carry 216, but it has got a 199 and a 193 in there, which were just mishits. If I took that, so if I take out those mishits, 222 is exactly where I want it, between 220 and 240. Good ball speed at 140. Good launch angle at 12, probably could do with that being a little bit less than that, but all in all it's great. Spin at 3.4, so it's got that forgiveness in there. It's not super low spinning, that forgiveness is what's helping it. Unfortunately, if we look at this, the dispersion from front to back, it's pretty good. It's just I leaked it out to the right, so that's all down to me with face control. But as a dispersion from that kind of yardage, it's really good. And then we look at the club, don't know why a driver's come up, but I'm hitting it all in the heel. I'm getting down on the ball, which is what I want to do. Launch angle of 12. It's pretty good when it comes to that. I just need to move this strike location up to here a bit, and you can see that last one was bang in the middle, and that's why I got really good numbers with it. So right, to finish, I'm gonna have a go at this fairway. This is a fairway finder for me, so I'm gonna tee it up because that's what I would do. So as you can see, I've got a lot of fairway to play with. This would be a fairway finding club if I was to put it in the bag, you know, not feeling confident with the driver, really need to get finding fairways. So can this club be an accurate fairway finder for me? Good hit, straight into the bunker. So it's just missed the fairway, but the big thing for me is it's in play. You know, I've left the face open, so that has had a bit of a fade to it. But all in all, it's in play. So I would be happy with that if I was playing this hole. But I do need to get that face rotating a bit better than that. Go, go, go. Oh, I just found the bunker. So I've done the opposite there. I've tried to over-rotate the face, but look at the carry on that. That's carried 244 yards because I've put the launch angle down. I've given it less loft, 13 degrees of loft, so it can certainly get out there. Again, it's in play. Fortunately, it's in a bunker, but I wouldn't have been so unhappy with the strike and certainly not unhappy with how far it went. So that was out the toe. Good forgiveness in that. Yeah, and we found the fairway. So with that shot, really toey shot, but the forgiveness in the club has let that carry 210 yards, which, to be honest, considering the strike, is pretty good. And it's found me a fairway. So far, I'm in play with 3. And that's just going to catch the bunker, isn't it? Yeah. Not a great strike, but again, 217, great forgiveness in the club. Right, so I'm actually 1 from 4 with fairways, but I'm in play with all 4. I'm just not going to get to the green with 2 of them from that bunker, I don't think. Right, last chance. Creamed that one. Absolutely nailed it. Leaked out to the right. I like these bunkers. But that one, 244 yards, considering the face was slightly open as well. 151 mile an hour ball speed. You get this right, this thing is a rocket. So, conclusion. For me, shaft was an issue. I had an issue with timing. A little bit too whippy for me. I'd much prefer this with a steel shaft in, and it would have been a better comparison to give to my 2-iron. The positives from this are the ball speeds off the face. Like carrying 250 with a driving iron, I know, and that was with an open face as well, so it wasn't like I pulled it and produced less loft. That last one has carried like 243 with an open face, a nice fade. Off the face, the ball speed off this is fantastic. For me, looks, I could play it because of the performance of the club if I found the right shaft for me, the right combination. But I just don't like the look of it. I just think if this was prettier, it would certainly be up there with the SRIXONs, because for me, the SRIXONs are gorgeous to look at. But ultimately, it's about performance. You know, it's great to look down at a club and feel that, you know, oh, look at the state of this. You know, you play with good clubs, you feel good, you play good. But I just think this as a replacement for a 3-wood off the tee, or as a, you know, someone who struggles to hit driver and just needs to be in play. I'm in play with all those shots. I may not be in the best position, but I'm in play with them. If I hit a driver on that hole or a 3-wood on that hole, the chances are I'd have been in that water on the right. So out of 5, I'm in play with 5. It's just that 3 in the bunker, so I'm unlikely to maybe find the green with the second shot. Conclusion, I like it. Would I play it? Probably not. I'm not a fan of the shape of the face. I'm not a fan of the fact that the hitting zone isn't defined on the face compared to some other clubs. I'm not a fan of the looks. But if I got the right shaft and it gave me 245, 250 yards and I was accurate with it, I'd put it in the bag, because at the end of the day, for me, it's all about performance. So I hope you've liked that review. If you've played this, or you're looking at playing an ORKA driving iron, or you want to have a test of an ORKA driving iron, comment down below. You know, we do have 4 different options here at Ashbury with this driving iron, with 4 different shafts to be able to sort of, for you to test. And if you're looking at driving irons, then, you know, we've got those options here. We've got SRIXON, we're going to get the others in as well. But as for this, great club, really good performance. It's just the looks that let it down. If you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Please comment, please give this video a like, and I'll see you on the next video.